So, when you hear the term mental health, what does it bring up for you?
I think mental health is more than just disorders. I
Hmm.
think there's so much more to it. I think the way you deal with your day to day life, your relationships, be it whatever, and how you handle grief, comparison. I think mental health plays a big role in every aspect of your life,
Yeah.
and I also feel that it affects a lot of your life. So if you're in a good mental space, then you're doing good in your academics, in your career, in your day-to-day life. But like if you are not as as balanced as you should be, then maybe you're constantly procrastinating or not wanting to do anything in life.
Hmm. Yeah. Very beautifully described. So, yeah, like you said, that mental health is way more than just disorders or labeling that, oh, I have anxiety. It's like in our day to day lives, also, we all experience anxiety. But not having those proper coping strategies is something that would lead towards mental illness, and then it will be a disruption of the balance that you said, so like balancing everything and then it affecting all of our life. So yeah, good one. Okay, so next is, has there been a time where you thought about ever considering going to therapy, but then you couldn't due to any factors?
Uh, I mean, honestly, I'm a very spiritually rooted person, but I don't think mental health actually goes against spirituality. I don't think they cross each other. But there was a time where I thought that it did. So
Hmm.
I thought that, if I am so spiritual and I say I believe in God, then why should I be considering help from men, like
Okay.
people?
Okay.
But then eventually it's more about that, for I mean, God is supreme, that's there, but he has sent people to help us.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were times where I used to think, and maybe if I would have considered mental health, there could have been a lot of things that could have gotten easier for me. But because of this stigma, I think yeah, that is what held me back.
Yeah, so firstly, you went from being a person who was like, why take it? Because, like, we can ask all the help we need from God itself.
Right.
And then you went on to believe that God is there, He's always going to be there. And then He has made people who provide service
Yeah,
to
why
guide
not
us
take it?
out. Yeah, okay. And something else you said in it. So, the stigma part. So what exactly was the stigma? Was it like own stigma or like someone
No,
influencing
I
you?
think it is mostly like I told you, I think it was me who was telling myself that, we say that we believe in God, and we say, that, just pray and all of it will be done.
Yeah.
And if I do consider God supreme, which He is, but if I do say that, He is going to help me out, then if I'm asking somebody else to help me out, so that's like telling God, you can't do it,
Yeah.
somebody else will help
Okay.
me out for
Yeah.
it. But then later it just got a little normalized to me, because I was like, it's not just, you know this perspective that I'm thinking of. It's more than that. It's not that if I'm asking somebody professional to help me out, it's not telling God that, oh, I'm asking somebody else to do your business.
Yeah. Yeah. So before maybe you felt like you were betraying God when you had to go to someone else for help.
Not exactly betraying, but we put these own ideas in our head that, oh, maybe this is not the way it should be, and this is not the way I should be doing certain things.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think that was what was mostly in my mind.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
So, do you think like this topic, talking about mental health openly, is it important?
I feel now, yes. I think we do talk a lot about mental health now, much more than we used to before. I remember mental health was very rarely ever heard about, spoken of, and then suddenly now everybody's talking of it, which is a good thing. But I think the awareness that is spread about mental health should also move into the right direction, because there are a lot of people that take advantage of it, and then it's not taken. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that it is actually then, helping people.
Okay. So like when you say that a lot of people are taking advantage of it, can you like elaborate a little?
So what I mean is that a lot of people, use it as an excuse. Like, I think mental health is a lot more serious. I remember the first time I was just jokingly saying about something, and I was like, I told her, and I was like, no, I have a lot of depression. And she's like, don't use it like that, because you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So don't use the term just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot more deeper, and that's when I realized, oh, I'm just using it as a joke, but like, it's
There
a lot
are
more
people,
deeper,
yeah.
and there are a lot of people who are actually dealing with crisis. So it's somewhere like a dishonor to them
Yeah.
when other people, like, just use it for fun or just use it for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So I think that is what I mean by
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
taking
So
a disadvantage.
probably you're saying that like when you say that they take advantage of it, so they kind of use the mental health terms as an excuse for their behavior. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
right.
saying? Okay. Has that ever happened with you? Like, have you witnessed someone doing that?
I mean, I had a very close friend, and she used to, she used to give me excuses for her inconsistency. So she used to, do certain things and then blame it that, I've not had a good family and I've not had a good background, which is why I react to things like this. And somewhere she was right, but I don't think everything you do in your life has to be blamed on,
The external.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So, do you think that social media plays any role in how you think about mental health or therapy, or like the professionals who are giving therapy?
I feel social media has normalized a lot of conversations. I feel talking about, like I said, anxiety or depression or grief. I think social media normalizes it a lot more now, so people feel a little less alone now, because there are ways, and there's help, and you can, like, anytime you can just like go and you can seek help. But that being said, I also think that social media also brings out what's in you. So I think it's not something that creates insecurity, but I think it amplifies what is not, or what is there in you. So if you're
Okay.
a very secure person, a very grounded person, I think social media, when you look at people who are not secure or are insecure, you get that empathy for them. But if you're a very insecure person, and then when you look at social media and then you see perfectly curated lives, and you
Yeah.
see these influencers living their best life and all of those things, then you get a little she has it, why can't I?
Yeah.
So I think social media does play a good role and a bad role. It's on the way you take
Yeah.
it.
Right. So that part about the social comparison, that is something we all face. So I feel that even though no matter how secure we are as people, I feel at some point there is something that you see on social media and that is going to trigger that comparison in you. Because like even if you're secure, you cannot be secure all the time. There is something that you want, and
Yeah, for
somebody
sure.
else that you are like idolizing through that screen, and then you like seeing that, oh, they have it,
Yeah, right.
and then you don't know the backstory of how they got it and everything
Exactly.
else.
I mean, we just look at those perfectly edited 15 seconds or 30
Yeah.
seconds, and we're like, this is the life that we want, but
Exactly.
we don't know the struggle, or we don't know the
Yeah.
hard work behind
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah, exactly.
was the reason for them to
Yeah.
establish themselves.
Yeah, so like for me personally, I'm like, so whenever I see these young people who have like accomplished so much in their lives,
Yeah,
they're
I get
like,
it.
oh, I just got so and so deals and I'm like so rich now, or I'm like doing so well in my career or whatever. So I feel that pang in me that, oh, like
No, but
I
you're
also
preaching
want
to the
it.
choir, because I know exactly what you mean. Because when I
Yeah.
see other people living their lives at a totally different dimension, I look at myself and I'm like, oh, I could have been a lot more, and there's a lot of
exactly.
potential.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, so like another thing is like when I see those people who are like being so healthy, they're having like those smoothies, they're making it, they're showing, and I'm like, why can't I do it? It's like they romanticize making those things, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I also want to do it, but then I'm like, I don't have that much of time, and like waking up at like 6 a.m., 5 a.m., that is like very ideal for me. I just can't do it. I want to, but I can't. So then at some point I just have to like accept this is not for me right now. Maybe I can like come back to it
Yeah.
later on. So yeah.
Okay, so as we are talking about social media and like therapy, so when you see on social media like mental health or therapy related content, how does that like make you feel? Do you feel confused or like can you relate to it? Like
um, last year was a little tough for me because I lost both my grandparents, and I lost them in a very short moment of time. Like I lost my grandfather in Jan, and I lost my granny in November. So the reason I brought it up is because nowadays when I see reels, a lot of reels on my feed from that time have been about grandparents.
Yeah.
And when I see people sharing their stories about their grandparents, and when I see people talking about how it is a lot difficult without them, I can relate to it
Yeah.
because I know what it is to have grandparents. And while not having grandparents, I know how difficult it is for me. But I also feel that there are a lot of other issues on Instagram or on any other social media platform where I get a lot confused about a lot of grief is something I can handle, or something that I can relate to. Anxiety is something I can definitely relate to.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are a lot of other things which I don't really like, a lot of difficult terms that I don't really understand. But I think basic things that every human goes through, I think I can relate to it.
Yeah. So like in the start also I mentioned that anxiety and stuff, that is something that we all can relate to on some level because we all somewhere have it.
Hmm.
So sometimes it is also like a motivating thing for us, like when we have exams and we are stressed, so we like at times it motivates us to study.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then at times it's also like over the top, and it's like now I don't, even if I've studied I don't know what to do.
Hmm.
So there is always a distinction between which kind
Yeah.
you have. And also like I would like to say that I'm very very sorry for your loss. Yeah, it is difficult to lose someone who you once cared about so much. So yeah, so okay, so this is like a very probably cliche, but so often like in movies, we nowadays we see a lot of movies about like mental health where they're showing how it is and everything. So any like when you imagine how a therapist would be, so what is it that comes to your head? Like how do you imagine it?
This is so funny because when I remembered initially therapy, or when I thought of a psychologist or a psychiatrist, only Shah Rukh Khan came to my mind. I mean, who else? Because it's not just Dear Zindagi. It began in Kal Ho Na Ho, because
Okay.
he always told, I remember he told Preeti Zinta that हंसो जियो मुस्कुराओ क्योंकि
Yeah.
क्या पता कल हो ना हो. And
Right.
that is a very good principle to follow. And then Dear Zindagi, I thought, I mean, for a very long time I thought therapists were supposed to be cool, and because Shah Rukh Khan went cycling and Shah Rukh Khan took Alia on the beach and they were fighting with the sea, so I thought, fighting with the waves, so I thought, this is therapy, and therapy is interesting.
Yeah. So, do you think that we all only have information about mental health or therapists through movies only, like in India?
Like I said, I think social media also plays a big role in it. So movies, yes, to a larger audience, because movies reach a larger audience.
Yeah.
So maybe movies primarily, but I think social media also does, and experiences also do, because like if you have friends, or if you have people in your life who go through certain situations now, because we live in a more informed world. We know that we can relate, oh, this is happening, maybe you need to go seek help, because
Yeah.
this is maybe your condition. I
Huh.
don't think we can actually tell somebody, oh, you're depressed,
Hmm.
or you're suffering with this,
Yeah.
but I think you can actually ask them to get help.
Hmm.
So I think it's more than just movies now. I think it's conversations and YouTube and
Hmm.
social media.
Yeah. So we definitely cannot just tell her, oh yeah,
Yeah,
you have
right.
this. I don't think that as professionals also we are supposed to be like, no, you have this. The only time that you would like give them a diagnosis is so that they know what they have, and their anxiety about their behavior which is happening to them right now can be reduced. But other than that, we should never be labeling. That is personally my opinion. So, yeah.
So as we were talking about diagnosing people and all the like information we have at the click of a button, so what are your thoughts on that? Like, is like since we can like get information from AI or Google or whatever, do you think that is like more important, or going to therapy and like actually knowing what it is by hearing from a professional?
Okay, I'm a Gen Z.
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm going to Google, and obviously, I'm going to go and chat GPT everything.
Yes.
But for a more serious cause, I think you need to go and seek therapy to an actual person. I mean, how much ever I trauma dump my friends or my chatbot,
Hmm.
I need to go, and if there is something serious going on in my life, I think I need to really go and speak to somebody who's trained, and somebody who can actually help me out. Not somebody who
Yeah.
can just give me some advice of some book,
Hmm.
but somebody who's an actual human being who's been through situations like that, or maybe has studied how to handle situations like that. So I think I need to, or anybody needs to go
Yeah.
and speak to a professional.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so like you said that I'm Gen Z and obviously I'm going to Google. So I think a lot of people can relate. I think even I can relate. So even I have the habit of like if my friends are not available, if I don't have anyone, so then I will also like chat GPT.
But I also don't think you should trauma dump your friends,
Yeah,
because I don't
okay.
think everybody has that emotional capability be, or capacity be,
Yeah.
to handle a difficult conversation.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, the emotional intelligence that maybe I have, not everybody does. So I don't think you should trauma dump your friends also.
Okay. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
fair.
that makes sense, because if your friends have gone through a similar experience, they might say something or tell you to do something like work for them but might not work for you.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, like you say, that everything that works out for somebody else might not work out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like very true. So having like for me, I have this one friend who is very safe for me. So I know that even when like she has also had, so for us it's like our lives are pretty parallel. Whatever has happened to her happens to me. Whatever happens to me, it's like we have the same brain cell. But so then we make it a point to not like give opinions to one another when another is sharing. So we just are like listening to each other. Okay, yeah, okay, this, and then at the back side it'll be like, oh yeah, even I can relate. And when that person says, oh yeah, I also relate to it, so somewhere it feels like, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
feel understood.
Yeah. So it's not always like trauma dumping,
Yeah, of
but
course.
then it's sometimes, yeah. So even though she's like very safe for me, there are some things that I would not share with anyone, like not even her. So yeah, I get where you say that you should not always be trauma dumping your friends.
I mean, like, I one of my really close friends, she's like my best friend,
Hmm.
and we share everything to each other. But that everything is still not everything. There are a lot
Yeah.
of things that you don't. It's not that you're afraid that person is gonna go and out you, or
Hmm.
that person might judge you or misunderstand you. But it's just something that as a person, I feel that you can't tell everything to everybody in the world.
Hmm.
There are some things that are just to be kept,
Yeah.
and I think I'm a person like that I just keep everything to myself, and until I'm more of खुशी है तो बांटो,
Hmm.
दुख है तो रखो.
Okay.
That's my policy.
Okay. Does
But
that
किसी
work
और
out
का
for
दुख
you?
हो तो ले लो.
Acha, okay. Yeah. I think everyone,
Yeah.
most of the people can relate. Yeah. Yeah. So, does that work out for you?
I mean, I am living so mostly. Yeah.
So, like you said that you have like Googled and you have like ChatGPT. So, is there something specific that you were like curious about and you recently Googled or something?
Related to mental
Yeah.
health or therapy.
Related to mental health. Okay, I was trying to think something very smart. I was trying to put it in a smart way,
Hmm.
because I thought you all will ask me about therapy. And
Okay.
what is therapy? Like,
Huh.
for me, therapy is just reflection.
Hmm.
But it might be something more serious, which is why I googled. I was like, bro, let's check out what's therapy. Is there something more serious to therapy? And therapy is just reflection. Therapy is, I think, being emotionally literate, to know, analyze,
Yeah.
reflect. And I think maybe many a times you can't do it on your own, which is why you need a professional to help you out,
Yeah.
reflect, or
Yeah, just be there for you, like a support. Yeah. Do you think we are a collectivist society? So do you think we have more of a support group?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, honestly speaking, I think if you're comparing yourself to if you're comparing ourselves to people in a different country,
Hmm.
then I think not as much.
Hmm.
But I think we'll get there someday,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So support as in like professional support or like social community support?
I think we live in a lot of log kya kahenge mentality.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think I mean, I don't want to say something that is not true for everyone, so I'll speak personally. I think we live as people into a very a very closed community. We think that mental health is still a stigma, and getting help from people is also like too much. Like I said, कि
Yeah.
दुख हो तो ले लो, but दुख बताओ मत.
Hmm.
So I'm more of a person that is very in my mind. Like, I only पहले ही सोच के I'll keep कि अरे this person might not think of me in a certain way or whatever. So support professionally also, I think that there is, like I said, stigma, and I also think that people don't really think it's important.
Hmm.
I think there are a lot of people who think that it's very expensive also, and there are a lot of people who think that मैं पागल थोड़ी हूँ, मुझे क्यों चाहिए therapy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So support, I think, both professionally also, and I don't think we have less people in India who can who can support us, but I also think there are a lot of trained people and a lot of people who are unaware of those trained people.
Yeah. So I feel like yeah, whatever the stigma part, the log kya kahenge mentality. So those things are something that we have been like conditioned generation after
Yeah.
generation, and that is what the Gen Z is all about changing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like you said that it might like change soon enough. So but like there are also like from the ancient times, So like when people are in villages, they live in villages. So like when one is even if they are like physically ill or something, so like their neighbors would come to their house, they would help them out like without saying. So when I am originally from Mumbai, so I remember my childhood being that I used to live more at my neighbor's house than my own house. So like as soon as the door opened, I just ran. Yeah, and like they were Maharashtrian people, and they made like amazing food. Like oh my god. So it's a shame that I don't really remember how to speak in Marathi now. But like when I was a kid, I used to know it really well. I just don't know how it got deleted from
Got
me.
deleted.
Yeah. And then the best core memories that I think I have is like eating puran poli, eating modak. So like Diwali used to be a very good time for me because I used to always associate it with the food that my neighbor made for me. And now it's just like spending it at home, watching firecrackers like from your balcony. So now it's just not the same. So even though we say that we are a collectivist society, somewhere we have become more individualistic, like in our own homes, minding our own business. And
I think it's a lot of westernization also
Yeah.
of the culture. I don't think it's wrong for the people abroad,
Yeah.
but I think as Indian people, we are very emotional, and
Yeah.
we're always involved in other people's life. But now
Exactly.
everybody just keeps to themselves,
Yeah.
and everybody is like thinking about uh, I mean
If I do, then will they think that I'm like meddling too much in their lives or something?
Yeah.
So those thoughts are something I think is what is stopping us. But then also like some places, like some villages and some small towns, they still are practicing this wholesome support things. So yeah, I had another question, but I like while talking I forgot. Fine.
So as we were talking about like maybe judgment or like log kya kahenge. So if you personally felt less judged and if therapy was more accessible to you, because you also talked about the cost and all. So would you consider going to therapy then?
Definitely. I think therapy is very essential, and I don't think you need to be sick or you need to be like people think. You don't need to have some issue to go to therapy. You can just go to therapy for the sake of it, or for just because you want to, be a better version of yourself. And if it was something more less pricey for a student, and for somebody, for teenagers and young adults, I think therapy is a lot expensive because they don't earn.
Yeah.
And gym memberships are still understood because the parents are paying. So
Yeah.
I think if I had more access, I would.
Yeah. So like in like foreign countries, I know there are some countries who are like they have these things for in based on insurance. So you're not spending much money. But like over here also there are a lot of therapists who have like taken this whatever you said that it's not affordable for students. So we all feel that, we all students feel that, because sometimes there is just too much going on, and even though sometimes you know how to deal with it, there is just you need someone to vent it out to. So
And somebody will direct you also to the right path. You
Yeah.
don't want to walk on somebody else's experiences. You want to walk on
Yeah.
something that is actually going to help you out.
yeah, right. Yeah, so like a lot of therapists have considered it. So I think there are a few who are offering pro bono cases. Then there are a few who have like reduced their price to like 300 to 500 ranges. So like after this I can share the thing with you.
Sure.
So
Career counseling,
Hmm.
and there is I don't think that anybody is not decisive, but I also think that sometimes you have a lot of options to you.
Yeah.
And when you're career counseled, I think you can, pick what is the best
Yeah.
for you. And it's not just career counseling, there's so much more than that.
Yeah.
And there are so many aspects to it. So if therapy could, I mean, in a lot of schools abroad, you have counselors, and you have counselors to talk anything about. I mean, not just school related stuff, but those school counselors help in a lot of other
Yeah.
things also. So I think it is a better way, and then you get a good guidance also, and then you don't
Hmm.
make mistakes which you maybe just want to try out, and
Yeah.
Right.
you're just doing reckless stuff. You don't do
Yeah,
any more of
right.
the reckless stuff, because
Yeah.
you're informed and you have a direction to follow.
Right.
Yeah, so like one thing that counselors can provide you is like a lot more options than you are currently aware of. So yeah, definitely. And I also feel like, yeah, if we in our school times, if we had a counselor, maybe things would be a little more easier, even though they're not like bad or anything. But yeah, like who doesn't want it to be a little more easy for them?
Right.
So yeah, totally get that. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
Um, okay, so how has this conversation made you like think differently about mental health or like going to therapy in any way?
I think the fact that if therapy is as easy as talking right now, then I mean, I used to I like I told you, I'm a very in my mind person. So I used to think that how do I tell a therapist what is wrong with me? But if it is as conversational and easy, I think therapy is more fun if you're talking to somebody who you can trust.
Yeah, right.
So because I trust the two of you, I could open up.
Yeah.
So I think it has helped me believe that you just need to um, take a risk and just
Try it out.
try it out. I mean, what is the worst that will happen?
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, so like the trust part, that is like something that is very, very important, and like it is the basis of the therapeutic relationship. Because, so like personally, therapy is not always going to be fun, loving. Like sometimes you might feel like कि नहीं, your therapist is telling you this and you're not willing to take that, you don't resonate with it maybe. But if there is that trust, if there is that bond, that no, even if I say something wrong or bad or anything which is not acceptable outside, she will still or he will still be there, he will still uh, guide me through it or whatever. So I think ki trust is something that makes the uncomfortable conversations also easier. So it might not always be fun, but it will still always be safe. It is something that always needs to feel safe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Done. I'm like, I personally I feel like I gained some insights talking to you from this. So like so when we as like we are now going to be we are practicing psychologists. So sometimes we get people who are like very opposed to counseling and all, and sometimes we get people who want to try it out but they don't really have any background information about it or something. So like talking to someone who doesn't know about it, or in your case you knew pretty much more about it, so it was still like कि, okay, yeah, this is also how people can take it. So because in India we usually like we always feel like कि, नहीं, they might not be into it, they might not want to take it. So sometimes it's like very heartfelt to feel like, okay, yeah, she is considering it, she has a positive attitude towards it. And I just wish that a lot more people, whoever this reaches to, so a lot more people at least like start to develop a positive attitude, because taking help is the first step. So yeah, that is all I would say.
Yeah, and I could also relate with you as you talked at the beginning, like with being spiritual and all that, and like how can I like take help from like humans or whatever. But I also changed in that, and I'm glad that you did too, because it is, if we are like even putting importance and like for our body and our physical health, it is also important knowing that our mind is also a part of our body, and like prioritizing our mental health as well. So yeah, I could relate with that.
Yeah,
And
I mean, if you're sick, you do go to a doctor.
right,
And I don't think you just have to be sick. You go for regular tests also to a doctor.
exactly.
So might as well, go for your mental health
Yeah,
to a professional.
that's true. Yeah.
It was great
Great.
talking to you.
It was so much fun talking to you. I was a little nervous, but when we started, I got normal.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad that you felt comfortable enough. Because like some of the things were pretty personal and it is hard to like share everything.
Yeah. So thank you for like opening your like heart and not like hey holding back things and talking openly. So
Thank you for having me.